Good morning, guys, and happy Motivational Monday. It is 6:30 in the morning right now, and I am standing outside in my pajamas and socks. I knew I had a ton to do today, so I wanted to knock this video out early and not put it off, and my girlfriend is sleeping upstairs, so I didn't want to wake her, so that is why I am standing out here right now at 6:30 in the morning making this video. I wanted to quickly share an experience or something really cool that I've been testing out over this last month that may interest you, that maybe you want to try out yourself. And what I'm testing out right now is 1 month of no stimulants, aka no coffee, really, in my case. And the reason that I started testing this out, actually, it happened due to a very interesting cause. And I wanted to share that with you guys and just how cool it is when you can get really intuitive with your body and just listen to what it's telling you. So this all happened because about a month ago, I did a fast. I did a 24-hour fast, and I actually talked about it in a Motivational Monday video of mine like a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, I guess now. And the reason I did this fast was just to kind of hit a reset button for my body. I needed a reset button mentally. I needed it physically. I've done a fast in the past, and it's just kind of helped me clear my brain. It helps rebuild your cells. There's tons of medical benefits to doing fasts that I won't get into here. But what I wanted to talk about was the effect, the kind of side effect that I got from doing this fast that was completely unexpected to me. When I finished my 24-hour fast, I had my breakfast. That was the first thing I had. And I always have coffee with my breakfast. And so I had made my coffee and I had made my breakfast, and I was sitting there about to eat it and drink my coffee, and my body was like, Anja, you really don't want this coffee right now. Like I didn't even want a sip of it. And so I didn't. And a few hours later, like typically normally, I will have 1 cup in the morning and then another cup later that morning or another cup that afternoon. And I tried to go for my coffee again. I even tried to take a sip of it, and my body was literally like, no, you do not want this coffee. Like, it was literally rejecting it. Like, I had nothing, I had no desire to drink this coffee. And the reason I was trying to drink it was because I'm so used to drinking it all the time. I enjoy the taste, and it does help me wake up, and it serves its purpose as a stimulant. And so I tried to save it, and the longer I waited, the longer I realized, like, I still did not want this coffee. And so what I told myself was, you know what, maybe this is a sign, and maybe I just need to take a month off of coffee and just see what happens. Right now, when I'm in this moment, at least, feeling like I really don't need the coffee, like, let's take advantage of this moment and run with it and see where it goes. So I was like, okay, from July 8th to August 8th, I'm not going to drink any coffee. It's August 5th today, so it's almost been exactly 1 month. And I'm very happy to say that I have honestly felt more energized this last month with no coffee and actually less sleep than I did when I was drinking coffee. And this was really cool to find out. I've always thought, if you need something like a stimulant of sorts, if you're kind of dependent on something, then you probably shouldn't have it in your life whatsoever, or at least you need to cut down. And so with coffee, I was always drinking just 2 cups a day at max. I never let myself go over that because I did not want to depend on coffee, but I definitely knew that in some circumstances I was drinking it as kind of that little upper or that boost of energy that I needed. Now, I've got to say that my energy levels have really evened out, and it's really nice. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to go back to coffee, guys. And the reason, I know this is not very motivational, I guess, but the reason I wanted to post this on my YouTube was because I know a lot of people drink coffee, and I know a lot of people use stimulants, just of sorts. And I think that it's worth testing out. If you're somebody that, if you know that you need something to get through the day, if you're one of those people that's like, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee because I am not myself, that's probably not a good thing. It might definitely take some getting used to, and I'm not going to say that it's going to be as easy for you as it was for me this month, where literally I can just tell you that it was pretty smooth sailing. There was maybe 3 or 4 times where I felt I could really go for a cup of coffee right now, but what I did in those situations was I got my energy up in other ways. I just found alternatives that I had never even thought of before. And those alternatives were, for example, listening to really loud music and starting to dance, getting up and starting to clean my entire house, like doing something active or physically kind of demanding a little bit just to kind of wake my body up and make me do the things that I needed to do without just sitting there and sipping on something to, give me that energy that I was looking for. I think that the way to create energy, or the way to get energy, is to create energy. So that's what I've been really focusing on this last month, and it's really worked. You just have so much more energy in you than you freaking think. And I think we need to be practicing how to pull that out of ourselves rather than trying to get it from other sources. Because really, like, we have everything we need inside of us. And one of the biggest excuses why we don't end up getting things done is we tell ourselves, well, I'm tired. I can't do this. I'm lazy. And that just builds and builds and builds on itself. And so what ends up happening is when we know we want to get something done, or we have something important to do, but guess what? That stimulant isn't there, then we're telling ourselves, well, I just can't do it because I don't have my coffee, or like, I am prone to be in a shitty mood, or like, you should not talk to me because I have not had my coffee yet. And suddenly we're like identifying with this source of whatever it is that, stimulant, even if it's food. People get hangry, and I used to have this problem pretty severely. Like, I would get hangry when I did not have food, aka hungry and angry. And so, like, when you don't have your food, you're like, oh, well, I'm just gonna, take this out on everybody else. Or we think that we're unable to control it, basically. But really, we are in control, okay? And I think that that's something almost disciplinary that we all need to practice, because I think that we're in control of our emotions just as much as we are in control of our actions. And so when we think of discipline, we always think of, the willpower to do something, or self-control. That goes for your emotions as well, and how you're feeling. Hopefully I'm not going on a complete tangent here, but I just think that, this was an experience for me, at least, where I got to really test out being more in control of my emotions, my energy levels. And it was really cool because I was able to actually control them a lot more than I thought. And it made me also realize that I did not need this one thing that I always thought I needed to be able to function, or to be able to, be better. I don't think I've been less productive at all without this coffee. And if there's something in your life that you feel like you may need to cut out, maybe you haven't cut it out because you're like, well, I don't want to live without this thing forever. And I'm not saying that you need to, but what if you just tried a month? Or 6 weeks or something, without this thing? I can guarantee you that you can get through 4 to 6 weeks, without whatever this thing is that you think that you need. Because anything that I think we believe in ourselves that we need is probably the thing that we need to realize how to live without. Because, I don't know, one day maybe you won't have it. And you shouldn't let something external define how your character is, really, in any situation. So that's my Motivational Monday video, guys. Hope that it wasn't too random. Hope that you got some insight from it. If you have any questions for me about this experience, let me know. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week. I'll see you next Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.